weird video games.
Aero Fighters, also known by its Japanese title Sonic Wings, is a top-down shooter where you fly various real-life aircraft, except they all shoot lasers. Weirdest game ever, am I right? Yeah. But if you've seen my show before at all, you know this is me just getting started. So what if I told you the pilots include a Japanese pop singer and a short-circuit-esque little robot fellow named TB? And these guys.
Okay, that's a start, right? So what's the game's story? It depends. Yeah, it seriously depends. I'll explain as best as I can as we go. It's really hard to organize all my many thoughts about this deceptively nutty game. I say deceptively because, look, let's take Keaton for example. Keaton is player 1 if you pick the US from these 4 countries. So let's see the game from Keaton's point of view.
I'll fly anywhere at any time.
Keaton gets assigned a bunch of missions all around the world, all with the same objective. Fight off an invading army, or air force, both really, and blow up its leader. And I guess whatever else happens to be around, like office buildings, innocent civilians driving cars, you know, war stuff. It's not even like this is an enemy country, it's Japan. 2 of the game's characters come from there. I guess nobody cares if you kill a bunch of people in the country you're trying to defend from enemy helicopters and highly impractical robots. These things make the end boss in Wild Wild West look like cardboard tube nunchucks. What are they even doing driving around the middle of a war zone anyway? Do they not know World War whatever is going on? Even when the cars in front of them blow up, they just keep driving like nothing happened. I can only guess Japan was on the cutting edge of driverless cars back in 1992 and didn't quite get around to programming the part where they shouldn't drive right through exploded other cars. But to get back to Keaton,
I didn't expect to be back here again.
He flies through 6 different countries, fighting bad guys.
I can fly anywhere if I am asked to help.
The weirdest thing I can say about them is that in Russia, buildings blast off as rockets and fly right into you.
What kind of enemy am I up against?
But otherwise, this is all stuff you'd pretty much expect until...
I can't believe it! They're aliens!
Okay. It was aliens all along. And now you're flying a fighter jet in space, which shouldn't be possible. But neither should be me playing this game on a cereal box. So here's Keaton flying an F-18 Hornet, which, by the way, is a real-life fighter jet in space. And... suddenly baboons. What started out as a typical vertical shoot-'em-up with real jets in real places on Earth fighting real... well, it's a tad science fiction-y with big robots and lasers, but up until now it's been pretty grounded as far as video games go. And now you're fighting an enormous space baboon that is Hadokening you with comets while roaring in space, and spawning smaller baboons to spin at you like kamikaze dreidels. So once you defeat this monster, the game ends with
Mission accomplished. Holy mackerel! It doesn't stop!
I'll take over for my older brother!
Okay, apparently Keaton lost control and died. That wasn't the ending I was expecting. It kind of abruptly comes out of nowhere for no known reason after you already beat the game. This is less of a plot twist and more of a plot right angle. It's the narrative equivalent of blowing bubblegum and having it catch fire. It's like when you're watching a YouTube video of a skateboarding accident where they land successfully and then a cinder block falls out of your browser window and crushes your groin. Now let's say you don't play as Keaton. If you're player 2, you're Keith.
The next mission is in the desert. I bet it's gonna be hot.
Luckily for the human race, Keith was able to take time out of his busy job as the world's greatest detective. This time, instead of a baboon, it's a ship with a 150-stage transformation sequence, and then it turns into a skull. And then Keith goes home to his family a hero.
The battle is over. Let's go home.
However, there are other battles to be fought. Now, if you're playing with a friend and pick the US, Keaton and Keith become Team America.
They're trying to take over Japan! Let's stop them!
Are we fighting against samurais?
Verily I say thee, world's greatest detective.
Okay, even if we can excuse Keith's ridiculous racial ignorance, they're trying to save Japan. The samurai would be on their side, wouldn't they? Actually, I take that back about his ignorance. Considering one of the Japanese protagonists is a legit ninja, and one of the Swedish pilots is an actual Viking, I think samurai are not far off at all. And yeah, sure, now that we've established for absolute certain that they're here to save Japan, let's just blow up all these little cars without the slightest consequence. How many points do we get for killing civilians we're supposed to protect? 100 points? Cool.
How about a Mediterranean vacation?
You must be dreaming.
Comedy, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to point out that the game's writers did actual serious research determining 8 actual aircraft used by the real Air Force in 4 different countries, when all of them just use fictional attacks, including launching little floating exploding probes, and one of them even stops time. That's dedication. Then they have no idea what to have their characters say about it when they reach the Mediterranean stage.
I'd rather be vacationing in the Mediterranean instead.
Oh, the Mediterranean? I've always wanted to come here.
We're not here for a vacation.
I mean, they chose to make one of the stages there. Hey, what should we do for the next stage? How about the Mediterranean? I once took a vacation there. Okay, what do we know about it? I just told you, I took a vacation. Can I leave for a couple of minutes to run to the library? Nope. Well, give me something to work with here. People go on vacations there. So the final boss is always either the baboon or the skull thingy. I think it's random. The only thing that seems consistent is that it's considered an alien.
The enemy is an alien? You must be kidding.
Is a long way from April Fool's Day.
But I'm not even sure about that. The game's storyline is different for each character, and they all have different explanations of what's going on.
Mission accomplished. I'm ready to land.
Sorry.
As you can see, not only does the ending change, but the entire tone of the narrative changes from a bittersweet tragic ending to a heartfelt family reunion to slapstick. Its tone changes as violently as a piano solo performed by 2 feuding enraged octopuses. Russell Crowe played this game in preparation for A Beautiful Mind for years so he could almost win an Oscar. That's why if you were to dig his unread acceptance speech out of his trash that night, you would find awkward vacation jokes.
I should, by the way, mention that aircraft carriers are not inconsequential. In 1992, the United States Navy only had 15 commissioned aircraft carriers at any given time. And even the smallest of them took many years to build, cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and had a crew of thousands of people. Whoops! All gone!
Check out these stats! While watching this review, did you wonder what Keen and Keith's blood types are? Wonder no further. We also learned such interesting things as that Keen loves justice, whereas Keith loves his family. I think these are what they had to put on their name tags back at the Air Force Base as an icebreaker for when visitors come by. Presumably Japanese families who come to yell and cry at them for murdering their relatives. I can only imagine when Keen was given this form to fill out, he had no idea that it would be displayed to the world. And that it was only later when he saw Keith's did it occur to him that he could have put that he loves his family. Bet you feel stupid now, huh? Or maybe you just really, really care about justice. I guess your younger brother never played far enough in this game to see that he's not really a priority. Otherwise, I somehow don't think we'd see him jumping out of his seat to continue his brother's legacy. So that's the Americans. Now let's say you've picked the UK as your country. First player is William. I have no idea why it's spelled with a V. It's not like he's Scandinavian like this guy. William is a prince, as evidenced by such nuanced dialogue as this.
Let me pass through here with my princely power.
He goes through the same hurdles as Keen and Keith, but his motivation is a little different.
Enemy took my bride as a hostage.
Nice grammar there, your highness. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, someone kidnapped the princess, and rather than sending a negotiator or an army, the prince hops in a jet and takes care of the matter himself, taking care to blow up a bunch of Japanese motorists along the way. It's like Independence Day. This game came out 4 years earlier, though. So if anything, the idea of a world leader recklessly flying his own fighter jet to take on aliens himself came from this game, and Independence Day borrowed from it. Although, I suppose if you go back far enough, this all harkens back to Shakespeare and his famous portrayal of the Danish king who abdicates his throne in order to hop in a fighter jet to fight aliens.
We've finally found it. The enemy's headquarters is in outer space.
Now here's the question. Was William's bride abducted by aliens? Or was it just some shadowy organization that has its headquarters in outer space? The game offers so little explanation, it might as well be production notes written by Tommy Wiseau. You get more straightforward answers at a presidential debate about all the mysteriously dead hookers popping up around the campaign trail. And here's another question. Is William supposed to be the UK's actual Prince William? Because he was 10 when this game came out. I mean, I know royal families like to marry off their children young, but at least give him a chance to learn long division before you pimp him out and put him in a flying war machine. The final boss is the same old in space, and then the final cutscene is back in Earth's skies again.
Jump over here. Now you're okay.
Hereafter, they lived happily ever after. Let's see what we can do with this whole mess. To start with, hereafter, they lived happily ever after. I've seen some pretty redundant sentences, but in my book, that redundant little sentence is one of the most redundant little sentences ever to be a little sentence that is redundant, in my book. Oh, and last we saw, William was fighting a baboon in outer space, and the game has yada 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 us straight to a girl jumping out of a plane that's about to crash back on Earth. There is no visual evidence of aliens or any other characters for that matter who have been holding her hostage. I'm kind of baffled by that. Aside from this baboon and the skull thing, there are no actual antagonist characters that the heroes fight. Just lots and lots of faceless vehicles. We have no clear understanding of who we're fighting or what their motivation is. It's just...
What? Bride kidnapped, going to space now. Blew up a monkey, came back, saved her from an exploding jet. Cheerio, time for tea, eh what?
The second British character is this guy. No relation. Apparently this is not the first video game he's appeared in. He was in an earlier game called Rabbit Punch, which is a side-scrolling shooter like Gradius, where... Okay, I need to review this game too. I'll just add it to my list here. Okay, so I guess I have plans for the next 70 years.
I still can't be beaten by young punks.
His main thing is...
When you're old, the cold gets to you.
That he's old, I think.
When I was younger, I was a lot stronger than you guys.
You guys. This is how British people talk, right?
I dare say these goggles are jolly well on fleek.
Also, who are the you guys this bloke's talking to? As I reminded everyone, there are no specific antagonists in this game. And this isn't two-player dialogue, this is just when he's by himself.
This is the last-ditch effort for the sake of peace.
This is what he says on the third last level. By my count, that's at least several more ditches. Unless he means that he alone is the only person willing to save the world. Where are the other pilots?
Now I'm finally ready to defeat the final boss.
Well, that's meta. Or is this another example of how Japanese game developers think Westerners talk? According to his stats, he's 68 in 1992, so he would have been 15 when World War II broke out, and 21 when it ended, so there's a possibility he flew in the RAF during the last years of the war. I wonder if he and the lads ever referred to Hitler as the final boss. Oh, and it also says in his stats that he loves tea, and William loves love. Do they mean his kidnapped bride? Or just the concept of love, and the woman herself was somewhat irrelevant? Could they not have given her an actual name? Hey, hi so late.
Yeah, you alright, Commander?
I'm pretty sure that's a typo there, but I think it's funnier to interpret it as that the character is Scottish. I don't have a funny interpretation why there's no W and Y. Unless the game's glitching up on me or something. Just a second.
Are you alright, Commander?
Yes, I'm fine.
What was that about the last-ditch effort? It's clear here that there are other fighter pilots who could have been helping, and they're like, nah, let's let the 68-year-old handle this by himself.
Where did you go, Grandfather?
I just came back from saving the world.
Oh, you're kidding me again. Stop joking and let's go to eat.
No one in the family knows what he really does. Right.
Well, I'm going to head out. Nobody come by and check on me for several days and try to avoid watching any televised coverage of the alien invasion, and especially don't pay attention to any news reports that 68-year-old British nobles are single-handedly winning the war.
Now, together with William as Team UK, the storyline becomes much the same as William's.
My bride must be held at the enemy's headquarters.
I can help you out.
In fact, William's lines are verbatim exactly the same, as if his 68-year-old comrade isn't even here.
Let me pass through here with my princely power.
Ha ha, this reminds me of when I was young.
It's not like they're both just babbling non sequiturs to each other, it's just the prince pretending he's alone while his partner pipes up with his own sentiments that are completely ignored.
You coward! You took my bride as a hostage!
Oh, you despicable fellow! Ugh.
If this isn't commentary on older people struggling to stay relevant in a world that treats them like they don't exist, I don't know what's going on. Is he a ghost and doesn't realize it, like Bruce Willis in Spoilers? Even the ending cutscene is almost completely identical.
Jump over here. Now you're okay.
Then 1 month later... Wait, I thought William already married her. He keeps calling her my bride, and possibly love. He doesn't say fiancé, although, come to think of it, he doesn't call her his wife either. Did the aliens kidnap her in the middle of the wedding? Why didn't we see that?
Now, I am not a fan of cutscenes. I think as a writing tool, cutscenes are weak. They're all about stopping the action so they can clumsily plop information into your lap. It's like if you were watching one of the Avengers movies, and it suddenly cut to Joss Whedon explaining what Ultron was up to. Like, a cutscene is like if this video were to get interrupted right here.
Hi, I'm Bob Parham. While Aero Fighters was originally created for arcade machines, it was later ported to Super Nintendo and several toilets. Oprah, you mind your own business.
There are so many ways to introduce elements of the story as you play without disrupting the flow of the game. Portal did it beautifully. You don't need cutscenes. That said, this game really needs some more cutscenes. Like, show us the bad guys bursting into the wedding to kidnap her. Or show us the bad guys kidnapping her wherever it is they kidnapped her. Show us some bad guys. What even is the actual plot? Also, the old man is a priest now. Next. Let's jump over to Japan. This is Mao. She's a J-pop singer who moonlights as a fighter pilot. And she's seriously the worst, constantly whining about the lives she has to save.
Why does a star like myself have to put up with this?
You might notice that as conflicts pop up in different areas of the map, they're represented by explosions. It really drives home the idea that the world is burning all around you as millions of lives are being threatened all over the globe.
Who cares?
In fact, from now on, I'm gonna edit in some explosion sounds every time I show the map.
Is this the type of work a star should be doing? You guys can't defeat me. I'll show you what a star can do.
You mean besides complain, show disinterest in the suffering of others, and adding unnecessary quotes to your words?
Where it really gets bizarre is the implication that she's not even flying her own jet.
My gosh, how is the aircraft flying on its own? Someone please stop the aircraft!
So, I don't get it. Is she not really a pilot? How does she even get inside the jet? Don't you hate it when that happens? You're just walking along through an Air Force base and then slip on a freshly waxed floor and fall inside the pilot seat, and the thing starts flying on its own and then fights aliens while you sit there helpless? What madness abounds in this conveyance of electronic amusement?
It's a dream. And that was a strange dream indeed. I think I'll go back to sleep.
And she dreams the same dream again from where she left off. Then there's Hien. Hien is a ninja fighter pilot. Okay, modern day ninjas are not that unusual in video games, but his plane shoots shuriken. Upgrade his attack enough and he shoots kunai. May I remind everyone that this is an FSX fighter jet, a real plane from actual real life, shooting ninja stars? He doesn't really talk throughout the game, unless that's him telling himself what his missions are. If you immediately understand this sentence without having to reread it, you're a smarter one than I. It sounds like it means a bomber was abandoned by its pilot and now it's lost control. Is it just dropping bombs on autopilot or something? I mean, this thing actively shoots at you, so something must be controlling it, or I don't know, maybe that's just what it does, video game logic. Your mission? Destroy the aliens' weapons. Okay, I guess the whole aliens thing is a consistent plot point after all. Only after beating the game does Hien reveal that he is not in fact mute.
We finally came back.
A job well done! I'm counting on you again!
Yes, sir. The ninja has returned and I shall continue to serve the Shogun.
So, not only is he a ninja, but he also apparently serves as Shogun. So yeah, Keith's remark about fighting samurais is firmly within the realm of possibility here. In fairness, the word Shogun is in quotes, so he could just as well be a corporate boss that the ninja calls Shogun, who lives in an ancient feudal-era castle, but I think it's in quotes for the same reason that star is in quotes. This English is bad. Hold on. Let me fix that. There, perfect.
Is Hien a time traveler? I don't think so. I think he just serves an actual modern-day shogun who lives in a castle, who has him constantly flying dangerous missions all around the world. Apparently without downtime. Ninjas need unions, man. I now want that phrase on a t-shirt.
Also, this isn't really an ending. I mean, Keith's also hints that this is not the real end, but at least it has some form of resolution with him coming home to his family. This is just, okay, I'm back from my mission, now I'm on my next mission. Literally nothing happens. Oh, and just to recap, after it's been established that you can just wipe out Japanese civilians without consequence and actually gain points for it, one of the two Japanese protagonists is a complete brat, and the other one is a stereotype with stereotypes for weapons who works for a stereotype that lives in a stereotype. Man, this game really has it in for the Japanese. Where was this game made again? Oh yeah, Japan. Hien is much more talkative when he has to babysit Mao.
Let's investigate.
Why do I have to go?
Is he her older brother or something?
Let's destroy the terrorist battleship.
Why do I have to along?
Because the world needs you? I guess you don't have to along. It's not like you're sitting in the back seat of the same jet. You have your own jet, unless it's just flying on its own again. I still don't know how that would even work. Is it remote controlled? Is it a robot? Why would you even need a pilot if the plane can be controlled like that? Why would you force her to along when the plane can do everything itself? Although I guess that didn't really happen because it was all a dream.
Let's go to destroy the out-of-control unmanned bomber.
Why do I have to go with you?
Again with the out-of-control unmanned bomber. Actually, now that I think of it, Hien isn't the only person to reference it.
Next task is to destroy an unmanned bomber that started the rebellion.
That pathetic machine fights against humans?
Hey man, TB's sitting right here. You okay, buddy? Was the big man being mean? So, I guess the unmanned bomber was controlled by some sort of AI. It took me way too long to piece that together, so I guess there's kind of a consistent plot happening. Your mission, destroy the fleet that caused the rebellion. Right, so now there's a rebellion. Wait, I thought the rebellion was caused by an out-of-control unmanned bomber. It looks like there are multiple references to terrorists as well.
Okay, so I guess these terrorists and these rebels are working for the aliens. There's a plot buried in this game. I'm gonna figure it out, man.
Are we going all the way to outer space?
It's our job. Now we have defended world peace.
That was great.
This movie was popular in various places and became a great hit. Okay. If you didn't see my Altered Beast review, spoiler alert, the game was a movie the whole time. I thought it was a weird enough ending that I wouldn't be seeing that again. Well, here we go. So aside from the ending where the whole thing was a dream, there's also an ending where the game was a movie. So neither of Mao's storylines was real. By the way, the Aero Fighters / Sonic Wings series is a series, and Mao appears in the sequel, so even though neither of her two storylines turned out to have actually happened, she still returns, and she is a legit J-pop singer who is also a fighter pilot, who loves sleep, I guess. I can only assume she has actual control of the jet in later games. And now, from Sweden, we have TB.
I'm number 1.
TB, in his own words, is the strongest...
I am the strongest fighting machine in the world.
And he has rather strong opinions about...
You're an idiot to fight against me with such a piece of junk.
I think he's referring to the out-of-control unmanned...
I told you that I was the strongest fighting machine in the world.
How's this little thing pilot an airplane, anyway? He looks like the sort of robot that would take a minute and a half to flick a light switch, and the first 70 seconds would be spent falling down stairs.
Something is out there in space. I'm going to destroy it.
So, that's the setup to the final boss. No mention of terrorists, rebels, kidnapping plots, or even any hint of any actual threat. Just, hey, I think I'll destroy that thing up there. Let me just impossibly fly my fighter jet into outer space and murder a thing. One baboon later, here's the ending.
Who are you? I'm TB Mark II, the world's strongest machine. No way! I'm supposed to be the world's strongest machine.
Why? Why would you do this? Why would this up until now lighthearted game give this cute character such a horrible ending? While this guy is out there fighting for them, the Swedish scientist who created him apparently made a better model, and his first mission is to kill his predecessor. Thanks for saving the world, buddy! We don't need you anymore! Missile! I need a moment.
Our last character is Kofel, a no-fooling Viking. I can only guess at the pronunciation here since my sources tell me this is not a Viking or Swedish name at all. While Mao's reaction to the world exploding is who cares, Kofel has a different approach.
Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
The world is in good hands.
The time has finally come for me to be the conqueror! Is there anyone on this planet stronger than I am? I shall go on to the next planet.
What? It's impossible to do it with a jet. Oh yeah, I forgot how beholden to realistic jet physics this game was. But seriously, this dude just tried to fly his 20th century fighter jet through space in the hopes of happening onto an alien planet that he can take over. Let's see. Attempting the impossible, laughing in the face of death, driven only to conquer, and he's supposed to be the hero. Karnov. He's the only character I could put him on par with. Kofel and Karnov, man. They should be bros. Drinking, swapping war stories.
Then I fired a missile at the bus, but it turned into a robot that fired missiles, and so I fired more missiles.
One time when Karnov was hungry, Karnov found bear attacking family inside log cabin. Karnov kill bear. Karnov sit down. Karnov eat family dinner. Karnov even eat family's cat. What did they do? Ask Karnov to leave? Karnov saved house.
Ha ha ha, that is nothing. One time I was still drunk on 6 flagons of mead when I got a call from the King of Sweden to fight a space octopus. I loaded the jet with gasoline and then fired a missile and rode the missile back down to Earth while the jet blew up the space octopus. I landed in a field and then I wrestled a moose.
Bah, Karnov never drink mead. Karnov only drink vodka. And blood of enemies. And sometimes gravy. When Karnov get hungry, Karnov not so picky.
Ha! Mead is superior to vodka. Great warriors drink mead.
Go full crazy to be drinking mead.
Haha, I might be crazy, my friend, but not from mead. Once I suplexed a wolverine inside a tavern and set myself on fire so they would give me free drinks. They didn't, so I came back carrying a missile. But I dropped it and rolled down a hill and blew up a farm. Koful, they said, save us from the fire. And I said, ha ha ha.
I'm gonna call them the Koful Karnov crew. No, wait, that's connotation-y.
One time, Karnov made breath fire on Giant Baby. Perhaps it's regular baby that wizard make increase size into Giant Baby? Karnov not know. Karnov put fire. Then parents ask Karnov what happened baby. Karnov say Karnov not know. Karnov lie. What do? Tell town that Karnov killed baby? What do they believe? Karnov killed baby or Karnov saved town from Giant Baby? Karnov had to leave town.
Anyway, so what happens when you team up Koful with a literal fighting machine? Naturally, they bicker over who's better at blowing stuff up.
I won!
No, I won! I won!
Shut up, I won!
I won!
No, I won! I won!
Shut up! I won!
Until...
I won! No, I won! Then let's fight once more!
Okay, so we have an ending where it's all a dream, an ending where it's all a movie, and now we have one where the video game was a video game all along. This is more meta than Deadpool killing a Deadpool cosplayer to save Stan Lee. Akbar Oakenheart thought this ending was a bit much. And for reference, he's my Dungeons & Dragons character who succeeded on a spot check so well that he saw the die I rolled.
The thing that cracks me up is that in this timeline, Koful doesn't seem to really be a Viking. He's just some Swedish guy playing a game in an arcade. But TV is still an actual talking robot, because clearly that was the less absurd concept. That's Aero Fighters. It has sequels. The sequels are weirder.
Mission accomplished. I'm ready to land.
What the fuck?
Just reading that description. Our next mission is in the desert. I bet it's gonna be hot. Sorry, my bad.
Let's go to destroy the out-of-control unmanned bomber.
Why do I have to go... Oh, hold on. This is one of those funky lines. Why do I have to along? Okay. Why do I have to along?
I landed in a field and then I wrestled a moose. I landed in a field and then I wrestled a moose. I landed in a field and then I wrestled a moose.
I am the strongest fighting machine in the world. Just being large doesn't mean you can defeat me. I'll take on all of you.
What? Bride kidnapped, going to space now, blew up a monkey, came back, saved it from an exploding jet. Cheerio, time for tea, a what?
Oh, I dare say these goggles are jolly well on fleek. I've never heard the word fleek before.
A job well done. I'm counting on you again.
Here you are right, Commander.
Where did you go, Grandfather?
What do they believe? Karnov killed baby or Karnov saved town from Giant Baby? Karnov had to leave town. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my god, Tom, this is a ridiculous line. Perhaps it's regular baby that wizard increased size into Giant Baby? Karnov not know. Karnov not baby scientist. Karnov put fire! Karnov only drink vodka. Then blood of enemies. Then sometimes gravy. When Karnov get hungry, Karnov not so picky. One time, Karnov mix blood of enemies with vodka and turn into gravy. That damn good drinking for Karnov.
I guess we'll try a couple conneries first. You alright, Commander? You alright, Commander? You alright, Commander? You alright, Commander?
Try a little bit more.
It's hard to do it with the commander bit. Like it's a weird. It just sounds like Patrick Stewart.
Just try saying things with SH.
Are you all right, Commander? Are you all right, Commander? Are you all right, Commander? Let me do a couple like Scotty kind of. Are you all right, Commander? 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 I'm trying to.
Those are good.
I'm trying to think if there's any. Are you all right? I could go full Brave here. Are you all right, Commander? Are you all right, Commander?
See if you can try the E throughout the whole thing.
Are you all right, Commander?
Try even the yeah.
Okay. Are you all right, Commander? I had a stroke.
I doubt it. I just want to see.
Let's go full batshit crazy. Are you all right, Commander? Commander.
All right. I mean, one of those I think sounds pretty good.
All right, I'll just do a couple more off the bat here. Are you all right, Commander? 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 Logan. Number 1. All right, I think that should do it.
All right, cool.